Welcome in, Greg Ruff, along with you, and Austin Selby, and we have the hairstyle of the Stars.
That's right. It's popular.
It
Bald
is.
and beautiful.
It is. This is your 9th year at Trevecca. You've been a coach much longer than that, but just think about the 9 years and moving. You were here after we moved to NCAA Division II, technically, but you were in that process of when we really got in the Great Midwest and moved into competing in track and field as well. So just talk about that and just your time here.
Yeah, it's been exciting. I mean, to think of coming in during the transition from NAIA to Division II and being a part of that, part of the transition year, which was great for me, being my first year as a college coach. It was good to have a little bit of the pressure removed, and it's just been amazing to watch things change around here. Teams and squads grow both in size and in talent, not just ours, but across the board in all our programs. And then the conference as well has gone, from 5 teams, I think it was, to
somewhere in that range.
To however many there are now.
There's like 25 now.
Something like that. So I mean, it's just been
the
great.
The level of competitiveness in those schools that have come in is tremendous.
Absolutely. I mean, from our sport, we'd have, it's us in Cedarville typically, like at a cross-country meet, kind of trying to go back and forth. And now it's any number of teams that not only are fighting for GMAC titles, but are going to go on to the national championship and not just participate, but perform.
Yep.
And it makes for some really challenging meets. That's a good way to say it.
Absolutely. Talk a little bit about this year as opposed to last year, and just the adjustment. I know in our sports information area, broadcasting, it's like we're doing this for the first time in 2 years, everything. And we thought we were kind of past the COVID, even 3 weeks ago, and now it's kicking. It's hitting on campus, hitting Nashville, hitting our country, and hitting the world. Talk about the contrast between starting last year, getting through it, and then this year.
Yeah, I was thinking about that this morning, looking at the 1st of September. This time last year, we'd had 2 days, 3 days with the athletes at this point because they had to move in much later. And now we've had our normal preseason, which is fantastic. For us as a group, it's great. I think we've got some great cohesion going on. We've had some good workouts so far, which this time last year we had nothing.
Yeah.
But you're right. Every 2 to 3 days right now, there's a little tick in the system, a little adjustment that we have to make. And I think the good thing is I think we were prepared for that, and I think our administration was prepared for that, our medical staff, our athletic trainers, and I think we're weathering it well, and we're going to continue to do so, and just kind of keep our eyes forward like we did last year. I think last year taught us a lot about perseverance, that's for sure, and I like the way that it's going so far this year as opposed to last year, so I'll take it.
Well, you just answered the question that I told you I was going to ask you. What did you learn from COVID? Was it perseverance, or what was it? For you personally?
Perseverance and patience, I think. There's just so many different operational things that were so different and very difficult last year. I mean, you get back to the hotel from a 9-10 hour meet, and as opposed to thinking you're going to sit down at lunch the next day with everybody, you're placing everybody's orders because you can't eat out at restaurants. So, but I just think a lot of patience, and a lot of perseverance, and we preach that to the athletes all the time. We have to show it as coaches as well, and I think all of us last year here at Trevecca did a pretty good job of doing that.
Talk about each team, the men and the women going into this cross-country season. We'll talk about Belmont Friday and then our hosting a meet later in the month. But talk about each team.
Yeah, I'm excited. Starting with the women, it's really fun because we're about 50-50 returners and new athletes, which is exciting. I'm really excited to see kind of what our new athletes are bringing in, both the excitement of getting to college, being on a college team, and I think we've got some great talent there. But we also have some great people that are going to guide them along and help them settle into college, which is fantastic. For the men as well, like we've really not lost anybody, and we've lost one athlete in Andrew now who's about wrapped up boot camp with the Marines, so we're proud of him and what he's doing. So that's exciting. But I think they are all gelling well. The training's gone well now that we've done a ton at this point. Just in the cross, where we're at the cross country season. But excited at how they're looking as well. We're excited for Friday. It's really just kind of a workout for us. We're gonna race, but a little litmus test for everybody, and we'll really be cranking at the full distances for both teams when we host again. So it's exciting to have 2 home meets in a month in Nashville.
Absolutely. I mean, Belmont is this Friday at 5:00. Women and then men run at 5:40, and then give me the date on ours because it just left my mind.
September 25th.
September 25th. Absolutely. There'll be a big weekend here in Nashville at Vaughn's Gap. Hope everybody will come out for that. That's Austin Selby, our cross country and track and field coach here at Trevecca.